scripture from Matthew chapter 14, and this is where we pick it up. And this is not no unfamiliar passage of scripture, and I'm just going to pick up right in the middle of the story. There's the intro going into it, but let's just pick it up starting at verse 22, where it reads as follows. Immediately Jesus made his disciples get into the boat and go before him to the other side, while he sent the multitude away. After he had sent the multitude away, he went up on the mountain by himself to pray. Now when the evening came, he was alone. But the boat was now in the middle of the sea. This is what I want you to begin to focus on. Tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. Now that's not my 0 point. That's not where I want 0, but I just want to make note of this, because when we teach this story, we act like the storm came up all of a sudden out of nowhere, that the water was calm. But when you read the scripture, it does not bear that out. It's like Peter was walking on smooth water of sea, and out of nowhere the storm just came up. Bam. Well, the scripture says that the waves and the water was already boisterous, is the word, and contrary, meaning the clouds were already hanging low. The water was already stirred and in a rough motion. So when Peter came down, he came down on troubled waters. It didn't just happen. He came down on troubled waters. The boat was now in the middle of the sea. Look what it says. Tossed by the waves, for the wind was contrary. It didn't happen after he came down. It was contrary before he came down. I'm going to say it one more time. He came down on troubled waters, but he still came down in spite of the troubled water. You see how we teach stuff and paint a picture that the scripture it does not bear out. It didn't happen after he came down. He came down on troubled water. Now in the fourth watch is between 3 a.m. and 6 a.m. in the morning. That's the fourth watch. So we know a sense of what time it was. Between 3 and 6. That's the fourth watch. Now in the fourth watch of the night, Jesus went to them walking on the sea. And when the disciples saw him walking on the sea, they were troubled, saying, "It is a ghost." And they cried out for fear. Meaning that they were screaming with excitement and fear. But immediately Jesus spoke to them, saying, "Be of good cheer, it is I. Do not be afraid." Here's where my focal point will be. Peter answered him and said, "Lord, if it is you, command me to come to you."
Yes.
There it is.
Yes, Lord.
On the water. So he said, Jesus said, "Come." And Peter come down out of the boat. He walked on the water to go to Jesus. I deal with this story as a courageous Christian because it bears out that, well, it's more than two, but I'm just going to say for today, two kinds of believers. There are the believers that stay in the boat and witness, and those who come down and walk. There are those who watch from the distance what Jesus does. And there are those who are willing to walk with him to do what he's doing. The passive believer